China threatens to cut off ASML due to new U.S. chip limits. Are we witnessing the beginning of a technological Cold War? Today, we'll look at the developing tensions in the semiconductor business, where global rivalry is shaking things up. We'll look at ASML's part in this narrative, the impact of U.S. export restrictions, and what it could mean for countries worldwide. And how is Japan managing this? Prepare for an exhilarating ride through the highs and lows of trade tensions. After delving deeply into semiconductors and trade, I'll demonstrate how complex and important these topics truly are. But before we get into the details, click the like button and subscribe to the Global Narrative. We're all about bringing you the most recent and greatest information, so don't miss out. Okay, let us get right into it. Have you observed how the semiconductor business is at the center of a geopolitical roller coaster? With global tensions over technology and trade escalating, it's like witnessing a high-stakes thriller. China recently threw some severe shade at ASML, the Dutch chip-making equipment manufacturer that is widely regarded as the gold standard. This demonstrates how delicate international ties can be in terms of technology. Furthermore, with the United States imposing restrictions on exports to China, the stakes are quite high for everyone concerned. Let's start with ASML itself. Imagine this. ASML is like a heavyweight champion in the semiconductor world. They're famed for their lithography machines, which are essential for producing integrated circuits. Consider these machines to be magic wands that help manufacture the chips that power everything from smartphones to supercomputers. ASML now has two primary types of lithography systems: deep ultraviolet, DUV, and extreme ultraviolet, EUV. The EUV systems are the true game changers, but here's the catch. ASML has yet to sell them to China due to previous limitations. Nonetheless, their DUV systems are critical for chip manufacturers worldwide, making ASML an important player in the global supply chain. In fact, in the first quarter of 2024, China became ASML's largest market, accounting for roughly half of its sales. That's a big deal, right? This reliance on the Chinese market puts ASML in a difficult situation. If they lose access, their revenue and market share may suffer significantly. With a near monopoly on EUV technology, ASML is in a formidable yet vulnerable position as it navigates these tumultuous waters. All right, let's look at what's going on with the United States and its export restrictions on China. Since 2022, the United States has been on a quest to deny China access to breakthrough semiconductor technology, and things are becoming serious. Recently, there has been speculation that the Dutch government, under pressure from the U.S., is considering prohibiting ASML from maintaining and repairing its DUV machines that have already been sold to China. This includes cutting off spare parts, which is like removing the batteries from a toy and is completely debilitating for Chinese producers who rely heavily on ASML technology. The ramifications here are enormous. If ASML goes along with this, they may lose a significant portion of their revenue. The Global Times, a Chinese state-backed tabloid, even cautioned that such steps would exacerbate the already strained ties between China and the Netherlands. This might shake up the semiconductor business and provide a boost to Chinese competitors, who are rapidly catching up. So how does China react to all of this? They're not simply sitting back and accepting it. Chinese official media has issued a stern warning. If ASML loses the Chinese market, it may incur enormous economic losses. The Global Times noted that this loss would not just affect ASML, but may also shake up the entire semiconductor industry. China is all in on expanding its technological skills, aiming to out-innovate its competitors. They're investing tens of billions of dollars in their semiconductor sector, hoping to create new productive forces to propel their economy. This ambitious strategy is well aligned with China's goal of becoming self-sufficient in critical technology, especially given the ongoing trade disputes with the United States and its allies. But wait, there's more. China has already begun to flex its muscles against U.S. chip makers such as Intel and AMD. They're getting rid of these items in government PCs and servers, which is a strong indication of their plan to rely less on foreign technology. Companies such as Semiconductor Manufacturing International Corporation, SMIC, and Huawei are moving up to strengthen local chip manufacturing despite facing issues such as low yields and high production costs. According to some analysts in Tokyo, China's chip capabilities are currently only 3 years behind Taiwan's TSMC, the market leader in contract chip making. That's pretty significant progress. It demonstrates how seriously China is pursuing technical independence, particularly given that the semiconductor game is about more than simply money. It is also about national security. Okay, let's switch gears and talk about Japan, which is caught in the heart of this technological tug-of-war. Under pressure from the United States, Japan is imposing new limitations on companies such as Tokyo Electron Lelty, which manufactures innovative chip-making gear. The Japanese government understands that this might have major ramifications, particularly for the car industry, which is heavily reliant on semiconductor technologies. Toyota, one of Japan's biggest players, has quietly expressed some major worries. They are concerned that Beijing may retaliate by restricting access to vital minerals required for automobile production. This demonstrates how linked global supply systems are and how a little strain may cause enormous problems. Japan is balancing its economic objectives with pressures from the United States. Let's zoom out and look at the larger picture. The ongoing semiconductor trade war has significant repercussions for the global economy. As countries compete for technological dominance, we may face significant shortages of semiconductor materials. This does not only affect the IT sector. It could have ramifications for businesses that rely heavily on sophisticated chips, such as automotive and consumer electronics. The geopolitical scene is evolving rapidly. Countries are rethinking their reliance on foreign technology, and there is a real possibility of a split tech ecosystem in which states ally with either the US or China. This has the potential to completely transform international commercial relations in ways that we do not yet fully comprehend. As the semiconductor sector becomes increasingly politicized, businesses like ASML will face a complex web of rules and constraints that may transform their entire business models. Let's hear from ASML CEO Christophe Fouquet. He's been rather candid about what's motivating the U.S. export limits. At a recent municipal conference in New York, he stated that calling these limits national security measures is becoming more difficult to justify. Instead, he implied that the United States' drive for greater limitations may be motivated by commercial interests rather than genuine security concerns. Fouquet stressed the importance of considering ASML's economic interests, while the Dutch government decides how to respond to U.S. pressures. ASML's future and significance in the semiconductor industry are hanging in the balance as it navigates these treacherous geopolitical waters. It's a difficult situation, and you can guarantee they're feeling the pressure. So there you have it. The increasing tensions between ASML, China, and the United States highlight how fragile global trade ties are in the semiconductor industry. As countries address these concerns, the potential for upheaval is enormous. It's a wild journey, and we're all gaining a front-row ticket to the technological drama. Who knows how it all turns out, but one thing is certain. The semiconductor industry will never be the same again. How do you believe the conflicts between China and ASML will affect the future of the semiconductor industry? Please share your opinions in the comments. And that concludes today. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.